As Western-led peace efforts over Ukraine's stall and NATO unity comes under fresh strain, French President Emmanuel Macron is quietly reopening a direct line to the Kremlin. Sources confirm Macron's closest diplomatic aide, Emmanuel Bon, held talks inside Moscow with senior Russian officials, including Putin's top foreign policy advisor, Yuri Ushakov. Paris insists the outreach is coordinated with Kyiv and Europe, but the optics are explosive. The timing is raising alarms across Europe. US-led diplomacy is faltering. Inside NATO, divisions are deepening over weapons, war fatigue, and endgame strategy. Into this vacuum, Macron is stepping forward with what Paris calls technical-level discussions with Moscow. Critics say it looks less like coordination and more like freelancing. Is France breaking formation just as Western leverage over the Kremlin is weakening?
How difficult is it today to talk to Vladimir Putin? I think it will be useful to talk to Vladimir Putin again. We Europeans and Ukrainians have an interest in finding the framework to re-engage. Otherwise, negotiators go alone to talk to the Russians. This is not optimal.
Moscow's response is cold and calculated. Russia says it is open to talks on Ukraine, but only if they are serious. Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov publicly mocks Macron's outreach as megaphone diplomacy, accusing the French president of playing to the gallery. For the Kremlin, Macron's public call is not diplomacy, it is leverage, proof that Western unity is under strain.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has repeatedly confirmed openness to negotiations. But when Mr. Macron says he will talk to Putin in a few weeks, it is not serious. Microphone diplomacy, megaphone diplomacy, which has never led to anything good.
If Macron succeeds in reopening direct, leader-level contact with Putin, he will join a brutally short list inside NATO. Donald Trump, Viktor Orban, Robert Fico, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, former German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. Just 5 names in a 32-nation alliance. Macron, once among Europe's loudest anti-Putin voices, would become the 6th, and that list may soon grow again.
I believe the time has come for Europe to also speak with Russia. If Europe speaks only to one side, its contribution will be limited.
Meloni's backing shows Macron is no longer isolated. The center of gravity in Europe is shifting. Leaders who once demanded maximum pressure on Moscow are now openly talking about engagement. Not because the war is over, but because the political, economic, and strategic costs of endless war are rising inside Europe itself. The dilemma is now out in the open. Does Europe hold the hard NATO line, betting pressure alone will bend Moscow? Or does Europe begin building a coordinated channel to Russia, resetting its Ukraine posture for what leaders increasingly frame as Europe's wider strategic survival? Macron has opened the door. Meloni is backing at the pivot. The Kremlin is mocking the optics. And the NATO-Ukraine reset is now happening in public.